Welcome, folks. Welcome those watching on demand. Like 2 months from now, when this is no doubt outdated with all the NHL trades, when the playoffs have probably started, and my opinions on these trades will either look very foolish or very smart. I'm Jeremy Lambert. This is the Fightful Twitch. It is NHL Trade Deadline Day. And so far, nothing's happened in the NHL Trade Deadline Day. Absolutely nothing. There's been like 4 trades all day. All the big trades took place in this week. Patrick Kane got traded. Jonathan Quick got traded. Timo Meier got traded. Jacob Chikrin got traded. New Blitz, what up? Says the Canes are working on something. Could be. What are you hoping for the Canes to do? Because I think them in the East, I put them behind Boston. Toffoli and Lindholm. That'd be a big swing. Like, I like the Puljujarvi trade. I know the drawbacks of him is like he can't score at all, but I like his work ethic. I like what he brings to the forecheck for them. So I like that trade. Why didn't you invite me to this? I don't know. Do you wanna be on this, Caden? I don't invite you to anything. You just like show up. That's not, you just show up, man. What do you want from me, Caden? Are the Flames looking to move to Foley or Lindholm, though? You're at Disney, so shut up, Caden. You're the worst. Now, I hope you have fun at Disney, buddy. Are they looking to move? Like, they should. Calgary's been a pretty big disappointment this year. And I always liked Elias Lindholm in Carolina. So I wouldn't mind him coming back there. Look, if they want to move Kadri back and eat pretty much all of his contract, if they want to move him back to the Avs, I'm all for that. Absolutely love that. I mean, the biggest trade today is, I guess, Kulikov getting traded. That's the big deal. Dmitry Kulikov. So the Jonathan Quick trade was nuts because, okay, how do I get out of this? Go away. The Jonathan Quick trade was insane because, yeah, obviously he didn't expect it. Oh, okay. All right. We've somehow figured this out. All right. I'm going to play NHL Hitz. Just very casual. I don't know. I'm not going to dive super deep into it. Just going to play some exhibition games and mainly just talk trades. Quick trade came out of nowhere. Clearly he didn't expect it. I'm glad he got moved to Vegas. I hope we get, Kings in Vegas in the playoffs. That's a great storyline. People talk about like how hockey needs more storylines. Like they like the NBA storylines. That's a great storyline for hockey. And hockey has them. They're just not as promoted. I mean, I'm sure people have seen the clip of Stephen A. Smith and the other co-host just being like, hockey doesn't count. The Rangers, they don't count as a New York team to win a championship. Devils look good. They played the Avs the other night. Bad game by the Avs, but great game by the Devils. And they didn't even have Timo Meier in that game. So Devils are good. I don't think they're getting the love, and I guess it's largely down to goaltending, but I don't think they're getting the love they should be getting when it comes to the East. I think everybody's looking at Toronto. They're looking at Toronto because it's Toronto. They got to win a round. Everyone's looking at Boston, rightfully so. Everyone's looking at Tampa Bay, 3 straight finals appearances. And I think Carolina's been so close the past few years, and looking at them to like, okay, this is when they get over the hump. And then Toronto, because it's Toronto. Rangers, because of the moves they've made with Tarasenko and Kane. Yeah, Devils are kind of getting overlooked and all of that. Biffstick says, I kind of hope the Leafs go out in the first round. They're going to have to play Tampa, man. They're going to have to play Tampa. and it's no easy task beating Tampa. I don't know what this mini game is. I thought it was Toronto's year last year to get over the hump against Tampa, and that didn't happen. Rangers Devils first round, they destroy each other. So as a fan of the 2022 Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche, I hope the East just beats the hell out of each other. Because the West, I like what the Oilers have done so far at the deadline. Dallas getting Max Domi is nice. Vegas, we'll see. Jonathan Quick, I mean, the storyline redemption for him is good. Not super sold on Vegas overall. The Kings, they're not bad. Who am I missing in the West that, like, as an Avs fan, look, we can lose any series, right? But, like, I don't fear that many teams in the West right now. So if you just get by the West, you make it to the finals, you hope the East is just completely beat up on each other. I don't know. I'm never going to believe we'll repeat, because I didn't believe that. Minnesota, Winnipeg, I'm not sold on Minnesota. Winnipeg's not bad. Like, the Avs just beat a lot of these teams, though. We just went on a 6-game winning streak where we beat Winnipeg and Dallas and Calgary and shut out Vegas. Like, we just beat these teams. And we're getting Landeskog at some point. I assume by at least the playoffs, he'll be back. I think he'll be effective. He's not going to be like peak prime Landeskog, but he played last year the entire playoffs with basically a screwed up knee and was super effective. So just him in general is going to be helpful. Brock McGinnon a pick for Kulikov, sure. I don't know what the Ducks are doing. They should trade Crosby to Colorado. All right, hit a square, aim and press box, shoot at opponent squares to steal. First shot is determined randomly. You want 3 squares in a row. All right, so it's basically tic-tac-toe. All right, here we go. They missed. Well, this seems not fun. I got 3 in a... Oh, wait, it missed? Alright, well that wasn't much of anything there. Alright, get out of here. Back to a different minigame. Eric Johnson will be back by the playoffs. I don't know, it's a broken ankle. I kind of think, I mean, if they're going to make a decision on him, they should probably make it soon. I kind of think that they will, they'll use long-term IR on Johnson. I really think it's going to be long-term IR on Johnson. More than Landeskog. It feels like Landeskog's back sooner than Johnson. So my gut feeling is that Johnson will be back at some point for the playoffs, but not before the playoffs. Well, I think Landeskog will be back before the playoffs. And maybe they don't use it on either of these guys, and they don't do anything. They got to do something. The trades they've made so far... Jack Johnson, fine 7th defenseman. Obviously, the coach likes him. The team likes him. He's well-liked in the locker room just in general. That counts for something. It's Jack Johnson, though, at like 35 years old. The fact that he didn't completely disintegrate last year during the playoffs was a miracle. Control more zones than your opponent. There are 5 zones. Battle for the initial possession of the puck. Control zone. Skate over it. If you lose possession, steal or body check. Okay. Should be fun. See how this goes. We just gotta get the... He's not even like trying. Alright, skate. Alright, well that wasn't fun either. I just haven't played games. There's many games there. Whatever right now. Yeah, I need to do it harder. Jack Johnson, again, kind of fine as a 7th defenseman. Let's see what shooting gallery is. Lars Eller, fine as a bottom 6 guy. No, he didn't look great in the Devils game, but he was also there 10 minutes before the game was supposed to start. So I don't blame too much with there. It was literally shake hands and get on the ice. And Matt Nieto, I do like Nieto. He's another good like bottom 6 guy. It feels like they just need to do a little bit more. I don't know what the assets they're willing to give up. First round picks are going. Like, I'd give up a first, depending on who it is in return. Lawson Krause is a name that's been mentioned. Bjugstad has been mentioned as well. So we'll see if they're willing to give up a first round pick for any of these guys. Or if they're willing to give somebody else. Sam Girard. Avs fans always want Sam Girard to be traded. I don't understand why. I like Sam Girard. If you're going to trade Girard, like, you got to get something much. You got to get a pretty big return for Sam Girard because that's a top 4 defenseman. Break more windows in the opposing team. Shoot from various locations. Break windows. Shots must be taken from in front of the line. There are 21 windows to break. Oh, this is fun. Oh, we're in red. Okay. Oh, I couldn't tell what team we were, so that didn't help. Or in black, I mean. Oh, I tried to pass it to him. Didn't pass it to him very well. No, intercept that. What are we doing? Come on. Ah. Oh my gosh, my teammate sucks. He can't intercept anything. The puck's just going right through him. There we go. That time the pass actually worked. Oh no. Alright, I can control the player. I didn't realize I could switch like I did. That's helpful. Oh. Oh man, just body checked him over. Oh, I already broke that window. Shit. Oh, good intercept. Gotta give him credit though. Time's running out here. No, already broke that one. Shit. Draw. It's because I did the same window twice. That sucked. Devils get a backup goalie for Vitek, and I think they're good. They could have had Keith Kincaid for a pretty low price. We're an hour and a half before the deadline, and not a whole lot going on. Avs need a backup. Nah, like, Francouz is hurt. Like, that's our backup, but he's hurt. And then they went out and got Keith Kincaid. Like, that's sort of the backup. So, I don't. They're done on the goalie market. I know Noonan didn't play well against New Jersey. They kind of left him out to dry in that one. They've got Johnson as well, or Johansson as well. They've got like 5 goalies. If they trade for another goalie, I'm gonna scream. They do not need another goalie. If Francouz is healthy, that's all they need. And if he's not healthy, that's why they traded for Kincaid. All right, exhibition we will use. Let's just rando. Tampa Bay against Minnesota. All right, I'll be Tampa Bay. LeCavier, one of my favorite non-Avs of all time. Got Brad Richards, Dan Boyle. Hell yeah, Marty St. Louis. And on defense, we'll go with shot blocking machine, Dan Boyle. Or Pavel Kubina, sorry. I do like Dan Boyle, though. We'll go with Kubina. Blocks all the shots. The brick wall and net. See, I like what the Oilers have done with the trades that they've made. So we'll see if it works out. I like Ekholm. I mean, Tyson Berry's not bad. What up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Like, Tyson Berry wasn't bad. And I think he's probably been better than people expected this season. That's true, Mike. That's very true. Mike, are you free? Do you wanna jump on here? I'm doing well. I'm just playing hits and talking this boring ass trade deadline. Yeah, Barry's never played defense. That's just sort of who he is. But still, what Tyson Berry does as far as like running the power play, and I think people know like how good their power play was this season. That's not the shot I want. And Tyson Berry, being the quarterback of that, actually had a role. It wasn't just all McDavid and Draisaitl, although it was a lot of McDavid and Draisaitl. Oh shit. But Ekholm is he's a better player for them. That's for sure. He's definitely more of what they need. Ah. That didn't go anywhere. Why is my defense just playing like up top? We're trying to get point shots through in NHL Hitz. What are we doing here? Mike, get on Skype. Let's see. I should probably figure out a better way to do this, but I just don't have a lot of people. I'll message you on Skype. We'll get this set up. There we go. There's a goal. All right, pause. We will return in a second. Let me... I gotta mute the game because I just realized the it's gonna be death on our copyright with this song. I'm just gonna mute the game overall, honestly, because once Mike joins us, we don't really need the game. But yeah, the copyright, that's gonna destroy us. There we go. Nope. Don't want any of those on there. Accept. Okay. We'll be fine on Twitch. It'll cut it out a little bit on Twitch. Like on the video on demand, but the YouTube it'll copyright, and then I gotta do the thing where it like removes the song. And that's super annoying. Forgot the jukebox on this thing. I talked over a portion of that, so hopefully it doesn't knock it too bad. But now I've just turned it off completely. All right, Mike, let me know when you're good, and I'll give you a call. So far we've still had no trades going on here. How do we feel about what Pittsburgh is doing? Because Pittsburgh and Washington are those teams that you always think they're going to be. What up, Supreme Pro Wrestling? Yeah, I don't know what Pittsburgh's trying to do either. NHL Hitz is the shit, man. 2003. You know, this shit's 2 decades old, which I guess dates a lot of us. We're all just old. Oh, Kubina coming in. Can I get somebody to, like, come crash down? What do we... This is blue line stuff we have going on. All right, let me give you a call, Mike. Yeah, I think the Caps have given up as well. Yeah, nobody's crashing the far post at all. It's bullshit. Just standing up at the blue line. All right, let me give you a call, Mike. Hopefully this works. Hopefully people can hear it. Hopefully I can hear it. All right, it says you're on, but I cannot hear you, which I'm assuming is on my end. So 1 second. It says we've connected. Again, this is 100% on me, Mike. This is not on you at all. It says it's connected there. Oh, that's where I screwed up. Okay, hold on. Mike Straw.
Hi.
Hello. Mike Straw.
There we go.
All right,
I should turn that down.
Yeah, it's an echo.
Yeah, you can hear yourself.
How you doing, buddy?
I am bored out of my mind today.
Yeah, there's no trades going on, nothing going on.
Yeah, everything happened before, and I think back, so from 2011 to 2016, I was on the Sabres beat for work. And I would spend days like today. I'd get to the arena about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, set up in their media room, and you just sit there all day. I would hate to be there today.
I always feel bad for the TSN guys who just gotta. They started
prep for it.
They started like 8 in the morning though, and they gotta go till 3. And there's been like 5 trades today. There's not even trade per hour.
No, everything happened. There needs to be, and this is me being selfish as a fan, there needs to be a trade freeze the 3 days prior to the deadline. I'm also of the mindset I think the trade deadline needs to be earlier in the season.
Oh yeah, I 100% think of that.
I like how the NBA does it before the All-Star break, and they do it more fun.
They do it with like 20. The NHL does it with like 20 games remaining, and like that's just not a whole lot of time to get acclimated and everything. Like I'd much prefer it with closer to 30, 35-ish games.
Oh, me too, 100%.
I understand you want to,
and the salary cap thing makes it tough. But at the same time, I'm like, I hate what they're allowed to do with like Arizona. There's a lot of things with the deadline. That's why I like the draft time a lot more, because you get more deals.
I love that Arizona can just acquire players who have been retired for 5 years just to get to the cap floor.
But heaven forbid a team in a playoff spot does the same thing for players that are active.
Yeah.
No, can't do that.
They're monitoring these long-term IR guys here.
Yeah, my mind is on now. I want to see where Connor Bedard goes in the draft, and
I hope
he goes to not Chicago.
I mean, sort of selfishly. I'm not going to go to like a ton of Blue Jackets games, but hey, if he wants to come to Columbus and come close to me, I'll check out some games.
Yeah, when it comes to teams I posted on Twitter earlier. I'm like, I want to see him on either Columbus or San Jose, because one, Columbus deserves it. I would love to see him play with Johnny Gaudreau.
That would be great.
Two, San Jose, I want to see him in those damn amazing uniforms. And San Jose has always been a team I've had a soft spot for because I love Joe Thornton. Also, what a goal. What a goal.
Yeah, that was, just Pavel Kabina. Slap shot so hard just off of somebody else. Supreme Pro Wrestling says I want to see my Sharks trade Carlson. What do you make of Carlson? I don't think he's going to get traded, and he's having a resurgence.
He's going to be a draft day deal, I think.
Yeah.
Like around that time or before free agency, unless someone comes out that's willing to, like, eat the whole cap. And I guess there's reports or rumors circulating that the Blues might be willing to do that. But who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? There's parts of me, like, days like today are when I miss covering the NHL. Because I like just hearing all the rumors going around and being told rumors as opposed to anything else. I don't miss sitting in the press boxes and talking and getting canned. Well, the team did what we were supposed to do tonight. Those types of things after every game. I miss the rumor mill of being there so much. But man, today sucks.
Yeah, just nothing. Like we're
at work for this.
We're an hour and 15. Like usually by now we've had a good amount of movement. I feel like us two together will bring some trades, Mike, because last year you did a spotlight interview with myself and Jensen, and in the middle of that's when the Tyson Jost trade went down. And then I joined.
By the way, Tyson Jost I'm in the firm camp of the Sabres need to re-sign him as a fourth line player, like for the next few years, because he is one of the better fourth line players that the Sabres have had in years.
Well, I've seen some Tyson Jost numbers and everything. I still follow what he does and stuff. I was happy he landed on Buffalo where he got a good shot at things. Like the problem with Jost in Denver is that everybody wanted him to be the number 2 guy, and he was just never that guy. And then because of that, it never worked out. It just never worked out. And I was sad he got traded last year, especially because we went on to win the cup and Jost was not a part of that or anything, but he was necessary to move so we could make the Arturi Lehkonen deal.
Yep.
And the Lehkonen deal, that happened while we were on air together. I did a guest spot on your show when Lehkonen went down.
Yeah. So we just got to do that. Maybe that's what we should have done this whole time.
She's done a show all day together.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe trades will happen. I'm just so... I don't know. So to transition and cross it with wrestling real quick. This trade deadline today, not saying the whole thing because the deals that have happened are absolutely been insane the past week.
Yeah.
Wednesday was like deadline day, it felt.
It felt like it, yes.
But today is going to go down worse than Lesnar versus Omos.
What are we hating on Lesnar and Omos for? I'm hyped for that match.
It's more I'm hating on Omos. I love Lesnar. I will go, like, my wife, she's never liked Brock Lesnar. Ever. Until Cowboy Brock showed up. Now she's in love with the guy.
So good.
And I'm like, yeah.
Brock's always ruled.
Like, the only time before that she liked Brock was back in, like, his UFC days, like 08, 09.
Right.
The Coors Light promo.
Oh.
I'm going to drink me a Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay me nothing. That was the only other time I saw her actively like, I like Brock Lesnar.
I reference that a lot of times with my wife when she just asked, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, maybe drink a Dr. Pepper because, Mountain Dew won't pay me nothing. Hell, I might get on top of you tonight. She's like, oh my God. It's so good.
It was such a good promo that I don't think anybody expected to hear.
So good. Yeah, Brock rules. He's always ruled. Tell me about your Sabres, Mike. I've watched them fair amount. Tage Thompson.
Tage Thompson is what's insane
Monster.
to think about. What was it? I can't remember who put out the report. Might have been The Athletic, but don't quote me on that. 2.5 years ago, when Kevin Adams first took over, it might have been even before that when Botcher was still GM. There were teams denying trading for Tage Thompson for a 3rd-round pick. Like, Buffalo was trying to trade him and was asking for, like, a 3rd-round pick. And teams were saying no. And, boy, I'm so happy that never happened. Because, holy cow. You move him to center, you see what he does there instead of trying to play him as a winger, and look what happens.
When they traded Eichel, I think I told you this at the time. Like, I know the Eichel, there's a lot of just blood and history there. But, like, when they got Alexander Tuck out of that deal, I was so happy that Tuck was just out of Vegas because he killed the Avs, like, just every year. And I was like, this guy's feels like he's the best player in the league every time he plays the Avs. So I was just happy that he got out, and I was like, oh, that's nice that he's there. Good for Buffalo. And then, yeah, Tage Thompson has emerged. Jeff Skinner has reemerged.
Jeff Skinner.
I always loved him in Carolina. It sucked that, like,
too.
the contract didn't, he was overpaid on that, but always loved him in Carolina.
Ralph Kruger, the coach before Don Granato, should be found and charged for war crimes. He not only put Jeff Skinner on the 4th line, he had the nerve to bench him, like, just healthy scratch him. And to me, like, that's punishable by death. Like, in the 2 years under Ralph Kruger, Skinner had 23 and 14 points.
Yeah. In
the 3 years without him, 63, 63, and he's got 60 this year in 57 games. Like, I just can't. And then, yeah, Alex Tuck. Like, I had a feeling he was going to be a solid, like, 2nd-line player. But he's just, aside from now being injured and likely out probably till the end of the month, which really hurts playoff chances. He's been just phenomenal. And he is the guy that I'm already looking like 2 years, 3 years down the line when his contract's up, thinking to myself, what is he going to cost to keep? But then I also think of, like, they managed to sign Tage Thompson to a 7-year deal or an 8-year deal for $7.14 million a year. Or was it 7? Yeah, it was a 7-year deal for $7.4 million a year. I'm like, all right, if you're gonna get a guy who's top 5 in scoring for that cheap every year, then okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really pissing me off with their trade deadline non-movement. Because they keep doing this, we're not going to sell the future for being impatient, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, your team hasn't made the playoffs in 12 years. You have the longest streak in NHL history. And you don't want to try something when your team is 4 points out with 4 games in hand. And you don't want to try to do something to get them better. You're making me really mad.
See, I feel they should go for it. I mean...
Me too. Granted, the teams in the East are fighting for 2 wildcard spots where you're going to go in and get hammered by Boston and Carolina. Like, the team that's in that second wildcard spot is going to lose to Boston in 2 games. They're going to play 2 games in Boston and call the series. Like, that's just how it should be. Because Boston is just absolutely the best team I've ever seen right now, like, playing.
Yeah,
I just want to see playoff hockey. Last time the Sabres made the playoffs was in 2011. I wasn't able to drink legally yet. I am 33, and I wasn't able to drink legally at that time because it was right before my birthday. I hate it.
A couple of things. Ryan Sullivan asking what year this game came out. It's 2003. NHL Hitz 2003. Broken Wheelchair says a goalie that isn't 40 would help. Yeah, they got Craig Anderson in net. It's crazy that, like, I remember Craig Anderson, like, on the Avs, and that was about 10 goalies ago for the Avs.
Yeah. The sad thing is, Anderson is the best goalie, but he can't play a lot of games.
Yeah.
He is the best goalie the Sabres have. UPL is just god-awful. He'll make these random, incredible saves, but then give up goals that you and I could stop in the NHL. And then Eric Comrie should be shot out of a cannon to the moon. So like, Devin Levi is 2 years away from being an NHL goalie, and they can't sit there and wait on that.
Ugh.
You know what, Sully? Anytime I'm sad at being a Flyers fan. Flyers suck. Flyers are a team that don't deserve to exist.
I've seen
about the Flyers.
I've seen somebody commented about James Van Riemsdyk, the Avs being in on him. I know a lot of people in the Avs media have like looked at Van Riemsdyk. I remember loving Van Riemsdyk like many years ago when he was young and really good. Now I know he's older, but I feel like he's still good. He'd be helpful for the Avs. It obviously depends on like cost. They clearly they're gonna give up these draft picks, and I'm very much of the mind of fuck them picks. Like
thank you. I was so pissed that the Sabres had 3 firsts last year and didn't trade a single one of them. Nor did they use one of them on a first-round goalie. Granted, goalie market sucks, but you have 3 first picks. Reach. I hate teams. The Sabres had a history of this when Darcy Regier was the GM back 10 plus years ago. They would fall in love with their own assets and what they held. Like, just because you drafted a guy or you have this pick doesn't mean you need to hang on to them for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just so, fuck them picks. It worked for the Rams. Granted, they suck now. But well, they got a Super Bowl.
Right, and I look at a team like oh shit. I look at a team like Tampa Bay. Like Tampa Bay is all for trading these picks and everything, and they made 3 straight finals. Like they know what works for them. They're not worried about these draft picks that are gonna be like, and these teams that typically trade these picks are good teams. Like you're gonna be picking in the high 20s with these picks. So you trade them, maximize the window that you have now, and that's what Tampa Bay's done. It's worked. That's what I want the Avs to continue to do, and the Avs do it to an extent. Like they don't have like a second round pick for about 10 years now. I do think they should, if a first round deal is out there, trade that first round pick, condition it, put protections on it if you need to of, top 10, sure, whatever. But like, so it says you don't want James Van Riemsdyk. See, I don't think I'd mind him depending on like just what the return is, because I think he can be helpful.
You can get him for a 4th round pick and throw him on your 3rd line for an already deep team ready to make a cup run. He's perfect.
Yeah, like that's fine. Like if we're gonna give up a first rounder, I don't want him for a first rounder.
Well, I know they were trying to trade him in the offseason, and one of the things every team they talked to was like, we're gonna only take him if you give us a first rounder to take him. Like now, at this point in the season, I doubt that's the case. But yeah, you talk about the Avs not having a second round pick. I'm sitting here going, the Sabres have 3 next year. Trade them.
Who's the Bruins goalie? Why is he so fucking good?
I think it's Byron DeVoe.
Is it? Jesus.
Yeah.
It's destroying me.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? I was really sad. I got really depressed actually as a hockey fan. In an alternate universe, the Buffalo Sabres still have Linus Ullmark, and they have Connor McDavid.
That's a very alternate universe that, yes, does not exist.
No, I mean, it could have. It's a realistic alternate universe because they had the best odds that year, and then Edmonton, with like the 4th best odds, won the first overall pick again.
It's fixed.
Oh, 100%. So, man, I really wish, with everything in me, that McDavid was on a U.S.-based team, solely because, selfishly, TNT and ESPN would put them on national TV more. Where I don't have to lay in bed and go in my bedroom and throw ESPN Plus on my Roku. Like, I wish I could just put on TNT, and there's Connor McDavid playing. Because he is going, in my mind, to go down as the greatest player of all time.
See, he 100% is. He 100% is too.
Because you put McDavid, because granted, you do that. It's that whole LeBron Jordan thing, errors and blah blah blah. But if you put players like Crosby, McDavid, Ovechkin in the era of Gretzky, where goalies wore thin pillows.
Yeah, and chain smoked between periods and everything.
And never went down, only played stand up.
Yeah.
My God, they would be just as dominant as Gretzky was.
Hold on. Oh, so speaking of odds, because I think Sully mentioned that. What's my goalie doing? Sully mentioned that Flyers got screwed out of Kane, then he beat us for the cup, having the Blows having the worst record, not getting the players. So the Avs, this actually worked in reverse for because we had the worst team in salary cap history. The one year, the last year under, or the first year under Bednar. Oh wow, he just didn't score. Yeah, the first year under
That
Bednar.
turnaround just shows what having a great coach and a great
Yeah.
GM can.
Yeah, 100%. But like we had the worst team in salary cap history that year, and we didn't get the first pick. And the first pick was Nolan Patrick was the rumored like the big prize there. We ended up with the fourth pick, and then the fourth pick
Makar, right?
was Cale Makar. Yep. But I remember being I was at my cousin's wedding on lottery night. And like I had just my friend, I'm sucking this game. I had my friend text me of it's like, let me know what the lottery is. And when he told me the Avs got the fourth pick after that season that I went through, where we won like 1 out of every 20 games, I was like, well, this was a waste of time. But then to come away with Cale Makar, it did not turn out so bad.
No, I remember I think I was still with the Hockey Raiders. I can't remember who I was with then, but I was working on mock drafts, and I actually mocked Makar as the #1 overall pick because I'm like, yeah, he should be, but he won't be because of pre-draft type from Patrick and whoever the Devils took, Hischier.
Yeah, Nico Hischier.
But he should have been. Like I never buy into this. It's rare that I buy into the hype of the consensus #1. But Dard might be the first one in a while I've bought into, because just watching him is otherworldly.
I mean, he's breaking every single. So I'm admittedly not big on like draft stuff at all. I don't know who most of these guys are. Half of them aren't going to play in the league for like 5 years anyway.
No, not at all. Yeah.
So, but I know enough about Bedard because he's getting every type of hype you could imagine and breaking every record you can imagine. After that, no idea like who even like the consensus or potential #2 pick is.
So it's kind of weird. Like the consensus #2 pick has seemingly hovered around Adam Fantilli, however his name will be pronounced. It'll change 5 times between now. But I'm a big proponent of Matvei Mitkov from Russia. The only problem is he's signed to I think through 2025 or 2026 in the KHL, and getting a player from the KHL right now, a prospect from Russia to the States, is going to be damn near impossible, for obvious reasons. So, so it's gonna be it's gonna be, in my opinion, a deep draft. But we'll see what happens. Like, it's not gonna be deep, I think, from defense, but there's a lot of centers. Like I expect like centers to go like 12 of the top 15 picks.
We are 1 hour away from the trade deadline. We have had 5 trades today.
All depth bottom line players.
Yeah, like nothing.
Like, you knew it was going to be a bad deadline when I think TSN had Dmitry Kulikov as their 5th best player to acquire. I'm like, oh. Okay, broken wheelchair says 26. Yeah, I think you're right.
York Smith. We gotta switch it up here. We need some goals.
No. Hold on, Anson Carter. You throw it that back end. You put Anson Carter as your defenseman. You never. No. Unless you have like a top 5 defenseman in this game, you never put a defenseman.
That's
as your
fair.
defenseman.
Honestly, that's fair. I should have gone with that. I like Yanni Nienema though. Always liked him.
I love playing this game because I keep thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, Joe Thornton was still on the Bruins back
then.
Like, you don't think of him as a Bruin.
Right. There we go. Got one.
Also, you are getting your ass handed to you. There you go.
I'm dominating, like, shots on goal. If you look at the Corsi and the Fenwick and the all that stuff, dominating that, but otherwise just getting beaten the scoring. Look at expected goals for and everything, destroying that. High danger scoring chances.
So you ready for a fun rumor that's circulating about the Sabres? That holy shit, I don't think is gonna happen at all, but it would be funny.
Yes.
Tom Wilson.
Oh, I saw who Tyler Kennedy tweeted, like the former Pens player, tweeted that like, oh yeah, Tom Wilson. I think he actually said to the Pens, but I'm pretty sure he was joking. But yeah, I saw that like he might be available.
And he's a player I can't stand. I don't. He's good, but he's like in that Brad Marchand realm for me,
Right.
where I don't care how good. I don't want.
Have we lost Mike Straw?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Tom Wilson is he's definitely that guy that like you don't want to play against. You hate him if he's not on your team, but Caps fans love him. So what's happened, Mike Straw? Is there a trade that is broken that has just got you disheveled?
No, I was getting like 2 different phone calls at once.
Oh. Can you break a trade for us?
I can break a trade in Franchise Hockey Manager 9.
Oh, you play that game?
I love that game.
There we go. Got another one. Who's your team?
Who do you think?
Well, okay, but like, do you play like historical stuff, like, or you just play like current stuff?
I go back and forth. I have one game saved where I start in the British. I'm in the UK, trying to build to becoming an NHL GM.
Oh, nice.
That's my like long-term plan
Right.
that I never actually get to fruition because the next game comes out by the time I get to a point. I always take the Sabres and do what I want with them as a GM, and then I'll do a head coach one as a classical or historic.
Gotcha. I do usually just GM. I actually like starting. So the one that I did in Hockey Manager 9 or in 8 last year was first year Avs. So the year they relocated, 95-96. So you get
Can't get really much better than what they
yeah,
did. I don't
yeah.
know
So the first year Avs, and this year I did Gretzky's first season, but I did a fantasy draft. I don't like how they do their fantasy drafts. I've determined that because like you pick 3 goalies first, like you have to draft goalies first, and then you can pick the forwards. So like if you have the first pick with goalies, you get the last pick for the forwards. So I had a late goalie pick, but I had second. Oh, the puck's literally right there. But I had second overall, which Gretzky went
34. Now I'm trying to think of who their goalie is.
What's that?
I'm trying to think of who Boston's goalie is.
They might have pulled the foe because I just scored 4 goals in the third period, and my lineup changes have worked. I'm trying to see the back of the name. I cannot tell. These graphics are what they are.
You know what? 03. Let's see. NHL Hitz 2003 rosters. This is what I'm doing right now.
Look at that dub. Come back down 3-0.
So lucky. So lucky there.
It's it looks like SK. I can't even like think of it. Oh,
is it Felix Potvin?
It's Shields. It's Shields. Steve Shields.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, he was on the. No way, he was on the Bruins.
Yeah.
Oh, he totally was. Wow. Also, Tim Thomas made his NHL debut in that year, which is nuts to think about. It was that long ago. But the Bruins in that season had 5 goalies dressed for them. Steve Shields was their number 1.
There you go.
Followed by John Graham.
John Graham. There's a name. All right, let's see what the rando gives us this time. Montreal and Ottawa. Who's Montreal got? No 3.
Saku Koivu,
yeah.
Kovalev, right? Still.
Zednik, Audette. No Kovalev.
Oh no, Kovalev was. Oh, Patrice Brisebois. Doug Gilmour? Really? Was it? Oh yeah. Donald Audette. I love Donald Audette.
We'll go with old.
Sabres.
Doug Gilmour had to be on his last legs at this point.
Yes. Yeah. Because then he went to Toronto for 1 year and then retired.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Patrice Brisebois. Jeez.
Breeze by, breeze blah. All right, we're gonna go.
So there was always one player, Richard Redneck.
Zednick. Yeah, Zednick.
There was always one player with the name that I absolutely loved, and that was Brad Isbister.
Oh.
I loved just saying Mr. Isbister when I was a kid.
Oh, they always did the wrister from Isbister. That was always a call that sportscasters made.
All right, so Nick Bonino trade is finally official to Pittsburgh, so that's a thing.
I'm glad that happened. That happened. We had an hour left. Can we get something going here? Like, what are we doing?
What a deal. What's gonna happen first? Am I gonna fall asleep? Or...
We're gonna get a trade in the next 10 minutes. I can feel it.
I mean, technically, we just got an official one.
Well, I'm not counting that. I'm not counting the Bonino deal. That happened last night by all accounts.
Oh man, I would love to see like some of these things. Like, do you ever go to hockeyliesandcrap.com?
No, I've never. No, this sounds great.
It's Hockey Buzz.
Oh yeah, I love Hockey Buzz.
Yeah, hockeyliesandcrap.com is what I always called it.
Oh, I love Hockey Buzz. That's my favorite website. The Lambs is based on Eck. Like,
I know. Is it really?
Yeah. The L system, that's the E system. Like, it's completely based on Eklund.
Feeling you were parodying it.
Yeah.
But now that I know for sure, it makes the Lambs even better.
Yeah, Lambs is completely based on Eck and the E's and all that stuff. And then obviously just like wrestling scoopsters and stuff in general. But yeah, it's based on that. I love Hockey Buzz just for reading the bullshit.
They used to have, someone used to have hockeyliesandcrap.com. And it would be a tracker, which holy cow, what no-lifer had to do this, of all of the things he would post and how accurate he was. And it was like in like the 3% range, 3 to 5% for a while. I'm like, oh my God.
He posted one yesterday that ruled. It was like, the deadline has gone rogue. And it's like, what does this mean that the deadline has gone rogue?
I don't know. Musicians are weird.
Oh, yeah. Eck is the best, dude. I love going to that website just for the nonsense that he posts. Like, now this is his day. Like, after today, there's nothing for Eck until the off season.
Yeah, right. But it's one of those things. I mean, he admittedly makes good money doing it because people love rumors.
Yeah.
Even the shit that's not going to happen. Like, it was one of those things. I remember when I left SGO and started doing like my freelance stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start posting all of the shit I hear. All of it. Whether I believe it or not, I'm gonna post all of the shit I hear. And then I went, I can't do that to myself. I ain't dealing with the reaction and the vitriol and the toxicity that comes out of it.
Yeah.
Not doing it whatsoever.
Well, this is what Sean is sort of learning when it comes to wrestling. Is like, oh yeah, you can just like post stuff that you hear as long as you make sure you say it's not confirmed and everything. And you're right that just like people love that shit. I mean, this is why like Ringside News does so well. Is they post, they're the worst, but like they post every little thing and just the most of the minor things, because Dave does a lot of word vomit on his shows, but whatever he says, they're just like, oh yeah, this is something that Dave said and it's confirmed and it's a report and everything. It's like, no, it's just like speaking in Dave's
hearsay.
speak.
Yeah. Like, I did it once with 2K23, and I made sure to note on my site that none of this is what I was able to confirm. It's just things that I've heard. Granted, like 4 of the 5 things I heard ended up being true, and I'm like, damn it, I wish I was able to confirm it. But it's still like the amount of just people that just immediately dove in and just started talking trash. I'm just like, or DMing me, calling me names over a video game. I'm just like, dude, it's a game.
Yeah.
Calm your tits.
Yeah, Ryan says you have no credibility after a while. You definitely kill it very quickly if you. It's part of it is you kill it quickly if you act like everything is official, legit, whatever. This is where Eklund, I mean, he sucks, but like assigning like the E system to it, and it's like, oh, this is an E3, like that. That's just stupid, because then you're almost giving it more credibility. If you just say like, this is what I heard, I can't confirm it, nobody's actually said it, but like this is just a rumor that's out there type of thing, people are just gonna be like, okay, you report a bunch of rumors and everything, and you can actually maintain credibility a little bit better if you just say like, big time rumor, not confirmed, not anything that
So
I
you want to hear his
go forward with.
You want to hear his latest one though?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. E3. 2 firsts and Pareko for Eric Carlson.
Sure. I'm
right.
sure it was close.
It could be a summer deal.
Yes.
Then
Sure
why isn't an E3 there, buddy?
See, the E system is hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious. I love it. Because he explained what like the E system is, and I parodied that with the lamb stuff and the manatees and everything. And it just, yeah, this is what I've heard from like one manatee has told me this, and that's basically what he's saying. It's like, oh, two sources, but I can't confirm it. Like, well, you got multiple sources, but you can't confirm this. What are we doing here?
Yeah, right. I don't report something unless I've heard it from like 3. But at the same time, so there's certain things where I'm hearing from one, but they have given me accurate information every single time, and I'm like, no, I can trust it.
Right.
But sometimes it's just a headache. Where I'm like, I don't even want to do it. You get in those bugs where you're like, I don't want to do any of this shit anymore. I'm done.
Oh, this is why I could never be like a scoopster. Like, if I have anything, I'm just like, here, Sean, do with this information what you will. Like, you talk to people, you check in on all this. I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah, that's. I have a buddy of mine who does that with me. He's like, dude, I've heard all of this shit. I can confirm it. You run with it. And I'm like, okay, sure. He just doesn't want to deal with people.
Yeah.
Like, I 100% get it, because the more I do it, the more I'm like, especially I've been covering a lot of motorsport games and their issues they've had. Man, some people love to just send emails, which is hilarious to me, asking me things and yelling at me about things. And though I still have an email screenshot saved that I got back in 2014 when the Ryan Miller trade was really close, and Minnesota was one of the 2 teams, them and St. Louis, in on it. And I put out a report that Minnesota and St. Louis were fighting basically for Ryan Miller. Minnesota put together an offer that included a couple things. I got an email saying, don't play with my emotions like this or I'll find you and burn you with a flamethrower.
Jesus. I cannot imagine dealing with that. Oh, Minnesota's trading Jordan Greenway to Buffalo.
What? No shit.
Yep.
Oh my God! We did it! We did it! We did a trade!
2 draft picks to the Wild. There you go. You wanted them to trade them picks. They traded some picks. 2 picks for Jordan Greenway. You in on Jordan Greenway? Do you like him?
Better than what we have.
I mean, you're giving up picks. It's whatever, you know?
I mean, it helps. The big thing with Greenway is we don't know how long Tuck's... I mean, he's going to come in. He's not coming in to be Tuck. He's coming in to be a physical presence. But they have to not get bullied around as much, so we'll see.
Yes, E4, Avs in on James Van Riesdijk. Which, I mean, everyone has said the Avs are in on James Van Riesdijk, but the fact that it's an E4 now makes it very official.
E4?
Yeah, E4.
It's like it's tornadoes.
I appreciate it, Ryan. Yes, it's Lambs is based on Eklund. That's why it's called Booking Buzz. You know, Hockey Buzz, like Booking Buzz. That's why I called it.
Oh my
Booking
God,
Buzz.
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
I put this shit together.
It's completely just based on Eklund because I took the idea to Sean because obviously he's legit scoopster and everything. So I took it to it's a 2nd and a 5th for Greenway. So
I got one of those seconds.
There you go.
Sweet.
So I took the idea to Sean and I was like, hey, can I do this? Because I didn't want, we're Fightful. We got a good reputation and everything. And it's like, I didn't want to like sully that reputation by just doing like fake scoops essentially. And he's like, all right, well, what are you thinking? I was like, well, it's just going to be like booking plans. It's not going to be like this person's going to sign with this. And it's kind of become that a little bit. But I was like, I got a costume and I'm doing a fake voice. Like if anybody takes this serious, they're just fucking stupid, honestly. Like if you're going to be like Fightful reported this and this is your source of me in a stupid little gimmick. Yeah. With an Elmo voice. Like if you're going to be like Fightful reported this, that's, you're just
in
an
the morning.
idiot.
Also, you gotta not do those so early.
I don't do it live anymore. That's the thing is I don't do it like I don't do it live anymore. Oh, dude, the Sully, like I can build my entire reputation that I called the Inner Circle. Like I had that down that they were gonna become, or Jericho Appreciation Society, that they were gonna disband Inner Circle and become, I called them Inner Circle 2.0, and like the fact that I nailed Menard and Parker as part of that group. I said Fuego was going to be the other person. It ended up being Garcia. But, like, the fact that I nailed the Menard and Parker, and I said Hager would be retained. Like, the fact that I nailed that stuff, I can just retire off of the Lambs bit just off of that. Like, I got this one thing right. And so the rest of it, it doesn't matter at this point.
See, I should have did that after I broke my GM mode coming back to the 2K series last year. I should have just stopped at that point. I was like, I'm not going to break. Actually, that and the Madden 23 gameplay features, like their vision stuff, I should have just stopped after that. I'm like, I'm not breaking any bigger news that fans have been wanting.
Oscar Sundquist is heading to the Wild.
Not surprising. That's probably why they moved Greenway.
Josh Manson will miss some time. That sucks. He's been hurt all season.
Can we talk about what Wheelchair threw in that as of before these trades came through, 6 trades were today compared to 30 from last year?
All the trades
Wednesday
happened, yeah. Yeah, all the trades happened on Wednesday.
Also, it's weird that the trade deadline's on a Friday.
So I was very stunned that it was on Friday. I really thought it was yesterday. Like a week ago, I told the wife, I was like, oh yeah, trade deadline's next Thursday. Like I'm out of it. Like I'm not doing anything that day. I'm going to get on Twitch and I'm just not going to do anything. And then I found out it was Friday. I was like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, it worked out because wrestling was busy yesterday and I had like 5 podcasts to do, but so it ended up working out that it was on a Friday. Drager says it sounds like the Detroit is joining Seattle on a push for Van Riemsdyk. Caps are signing 2022 Stanley Cup champion.
It's a 2023 second and a 2024 fifth. So look at that. They didn't even give up 2 picks. Just get rid of all of them.
Fuck them picks, man.
And I hope it's the worst of the 3, or the worst of the 3 second-round picks. So likely Vegas is.
It's for Minnesota.
Oh, they're talking about it on ESPN.
Oh, they're actually talking hockey on ESPN?
Yeah, the point is on ESPN 2 right now. They used Slipknot as their commercial bump track for one of their commercial breaks, and I was so like taken aback.
The Caps have re-signed Nicolas Aube-Kubel, 2022 Stanley Cup champion, famous for just denting the cup. He's gonna live forever just because he fell over in the celebration and dented that damn thing.
10 out of 10 though.
Oh, it was totally worth it. I mean, we won a cup. All right, we got 40 minutes until the deadline.
Easy. I mean, we got a lot of them coming, a lot of moves. That's all I want.
I think Greenway will be good in
Well, he immediately Buffalo. Doesn't become he's still not the lowest scoring player on. Actually, he's the lowest scoring player who's played more than 40 games this season on the Sabres.
Who was it prior to him?
Matthias Samuelsson with 8 points in 45 games.
I remember everybody had high hopes for Greenway because he was one of the few like NHL caliber player in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because NHL can't send anybody to the Olympics for some awful reason.
Gary Bettman. That's the awful reason.
It's terrible. Like these guys should be in the Olympics. Should be a lot.
This is going to be the only Sabres trade all day, and it's going to feel just as bad as when they traded for Bob Corkum in 2001. Man, those teams are good. Bob Corkum, Steve Hines. Like, they had Bob Corkum, and then they traded for him again. Or it was 2002. It was the 01-02 season they traded for Corkum. 2001, I think they traded for Steve Hines, yeah. Bob Corkum had a whopping 1 point in 10 games.
Trying to think. Avs traded for Blake in 01 because that was the year they won the Cup. That was the big Rob Blake deal. Then they traded Drury for Derek Morris the year after. I feel like that was an off-season deal, though.
I love looking back at history of trade deadline deals. Because with the Sabres, like looking back, 99, they added Stu Barnes and then went to the Cup final.
There you go.
In 2000, they traded for Doug Gilmour and J.P. Dumont. 2003, they traded for Danny Briere, which we know what he turned into. The only trade that I really, really thought was going to get the Sabres over the hump was 07 when they traded for Dana Zubris. And I was like, this is going to be great. This is what gets them to the Cup. And then they go and get just hammered by the Senators in 5 games. And then they haven't won a playoff series since.
They're on the up, though, Mike Straw. They'll be there.
Yeah, but it's still funny to say the Sabres, having not made the playoffs in 12 years, have still won a playoff series more recently than
Toronto.
Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Every year that Toronto loses a series, and now I like Toronto. Like I have Toronto jerseys, hat. Like I like the Leafs, but it's always fun. Their fans get so pissed when you say that.
I mean, they should get pissed. Like, but they also their team should try to win.
Yeah,
it's the second. It's the second from Vegas that came back in the Eichel trade.
That is fantastic.
So there you go.
Apparently, Granato coached Greenway back when Greenway was with the U.S. National Team Development Program.
Okay.
So
right. Picked up another dub. Saku Koivu, player of the game.
How about you play on harder difficulties then?
I actually will. I'll up it. It's on pro right now.
I feel like you're playing on rookie mode, man.
No, I'm playing on pro. I'm playing on pro.
That's the thing. I learned in the Hitz games, because I used to play, the harder the difficulty, it just means the better the goaltender.
Yeah. That's what it seems like, because rookie, like I was dominating, and then, you know, I was playing great in that last game where I was down 3-0, but the goalie was just stopping everything. And I ended up scoring 4, but yeah, I'll up it. This will probably be the last game, because then hopefully we'll actually have like some trades to pay attention to.
Yeah, we have 8 total trades today, guys. 8.
Oh, so pro is the second hardest. All-Star's the hardest. I'll up it to All-Star, though.
Back in the day, dude, games were just so simpler back then.
They really were. Now you gotta like fuck with sliders for 5 hours nowadays.
They give you 9 skill levels, and still, you have to mess with sliders.
Who was on the Caps in 03?
Peter Bondra.
Love Peter Bondra.
Adam Oates.
Oh, okay,
let's
let's go.
Oli Kolzig was still. Also,
Caps Coyotes. Here we go.
The Caps need to permanently. Oh, I think they have Roenick and Kachuk still.
Yager.
The Caps need to go permanently back to the Soaring Eagle.
Oh, this team rules. Yager, Bondra, Gonjar. Hell yeah.
Dana Zubris. Yeah,
Kolzig
like Gonjar's the guy you keep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, who's the other goalie? Oh.
I can go back.
Oh, no, I just want to see who that other goalie is.
Yager, Bondra, Gonchar, Billington. 61 overall. Oh boy.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with him.
Does Phoenix have Roenick in 03?
Don't take what Bucci says as anything. Ever.
Dryden Hunt to Calgary. I feel like Dryden Hunt was on the Avs like 2 weeks ago.
He's not a real player. All right, let's see who they have. Hey, Briere!
There you
Danny
go.
Briere!
Oh, okay, that's a penalty.
Let Briere just dominate.
Teppo Numanen, he just took that penalty.
Because I'm a little, obviously, watching the stream compared to talking. I'm like 3 or 4 seconds behind, so you're like, oh, that's a penalty. And then I'm just sitting there like, oh, that's what he meant.
Cold cocked my goalie.
I know, out of nowhere.
Remember when I played this game, Joel Pearl?
Yeah, you're right. He was on the Flyers because he was on the cover of ESPN NHL 04.
Ah. Oh my god, the net was empty, and I just could not get the
And
shot
Sean Burke
off.
was the goalie. Who was number 10? Or Phoenix, whatever you want to call
There we go. Yeah, Burke's in there. I don't know who their other guy is.
So I could just talk about Briere, and there we go.
I
Unassisted.
can't see who number 10 is. Power play goal, baby. Jaromir Jagr cleaning it up in front. I remember when Jagr was traded to the Capitals. That was a big deal.
I loved Jagr. The only time I didn't like Jagr is when he was on the Rangers because
Fair.
fuck the Rangers.
Fair.
Though I do like the late Rangers because, like, this year I have a soft spot because Gerard Gallant I absolutely love as a coach.
Oof.
And Chris Kreider. My love for Chris Kreider stems because he annoyed so many of my Devils fan friends. That I'm just like, nah, Chris Kreider fan club #1 right here. I just want trades. Just give me more trades. I'm hoping this continues, though. We've had, what, 3 trades since we've been on.
Well, I mean, there was really nowhere to go up since we started because nothing had happened previously. So they kind of had to go up. You had to figure something was going to happen today. Like, you didn't think it was just going to be completely quiet. Oh, how does that not go in? Oh. Just go out and just play the puck, Kolzig.
No, you gotta let. It was setting up for a major hit on Newman, and that was the plan. Sean Burke out here dominating.
Oh.
That's checking from behind.
Oh, look at that goal. That was sweet.
I was more into your boarding.
There's no boarding in this game. The only penalty is legitimately just hitting the goalie.
It's
the only penalty in this game.
What that? I mean, you basically broke the dude's neck.
Well,
man.
shouldn't have been in the way. Oh. Oh, got deked out there. Sundqvist for a pick, I believe it said. That's our other big deal of the day, Oscar Sundqvist.
30-minute warning. Oh, they're talking about the Avs on ESPN.
No, good for them.
Yeah, John Butchergross, the guy everybody fucking loves. I hate that man. Arguably the worst play-by-play in the history of sports ever, and he's also a creep.
I have no real opinion on Butchergross.
Also, I still can't believe Dallas.
Tony Amonte. That's who number 10 is.
No, wow, I forgot he played there. I just still remember him as a Blackhawk.
Yeah, that's all I ever remember him
Him
too.
and Eric Daze.
Eric Daze's a killer in FHM. Absolute monster.
Yeah, those two I remember solely because they were the faces of a Blackhawks franchise that couldn't even air home games on TV because they had their whole, like, NFL used to have, you have to sell out the game.
Oh, I got a trade for you, Mike Straw. The Buffalo Sabres have acquired defenseman Austin Strand from Anaheim in exchange for defenseman Chase Priske.
That's an AHL deal.
Well, what do you want me to say? It's a deal that happened. The Sabres PR is tweeting it.
Like, literally, it is nothing more than a minor league deal. God, I hate this team.
Hey, they got Jordan Greenway. They did their business for the day.
I hate them. I hate them so much. If I don't see a top 6 defenseman, I'm going to lose my shit.
Is there a top 6 defenseman out there?
There was. There were plenty. I'm angry now. Now I'm getting angry. This is where I'm at. I'm just super angry.
I mean, at least your team did a little something. My team, we're banking on Lars Eller to take us to the promised land right now. And Jack Johnson.
Don't worry, Landeskog will be back.
Granted, Jack Johnson did take us to the promised land last year.
Exactly. But Landeskog will be back, and that'll be as good as a deadline acquisition.
Yeah, but I want an actual trade.
I know, I hate that shit. When they're like, oh, well, getting this player back is like an acquisition in itself. No.
You know what? You know what's better than that is we get that player back and actually get somebody. That also can apply. That also rules. I know the Avs went kind of bare covered last year to win a cup, and it worked. They won the cup. Can't complain. But look at the Lightning.
There's a but. You're gonna complain.
Yeah. Look at what the Lightning have done. You can't settle for just one cup. Like, go out and get more, especially when you have the pieces still in play and a core that can still get it done.
I honestly feel maybe they just think the West isn't going to be as strong in the playoffs.
I mean, I agree, and I think that's I definitely think that's their thinking. But at the same time,
the East is going to destroy each other.
Right. But at the same time, like, go ahead and improve your position in the West. Because people didn't think the West was strong last year. I mean, Edmonton made the final last year, and they got swept. Like, I know Calgary was better last year. I know that. But everyone just figured, oh, okay, well, the Avs are they're going to make the West final. If they don't, something is going horribly wrong. But that didn't stop them from being like, you know what? We should actually guarantee that we can make the West final and get out of the second round. There's never anything wrong with just improving your position.
No. You know what I'm dealing with? I'm currently dealing with stupid Sabres fans, which there's a lot of. Well, why even try and go for the playoffs this year if you're just going to get eliminated in the first round by Boston or Carolina? Because you haven't been there 12 goddamn years.
And you never know. I mean, everyone thought,
Remember when Columbus beat Tampa?
I was about to mention that, yeah. Everyone thought that, oh, well...
Or was it Washington?
No, it was
Tampa.
Columbus.
Washington came back from the 2-0 lead to Tampa against Columbus.
It was Columbus beat Tampa, yeah. And that's what I was going to bring up, is like Tampa was the best team of all time that season and then lost in the first round because you never know. You get a hot goaltender.
Like, I can go back even further when the Sabres made the final. Like, granted, that's 20, almost, it's over 20 years ago at this point. I hate that. It's been 20 years, 20-something years since they made the final. Now I'm, like, sad. I'm really, really sad. But they make the playoffs as a 7th seed, and they go on and sweep Ottawa, which I was at Game 4 of that series. And I still have my ticket. Guess how much it cost for a 8th row 100 level ticket for a game in Game 4 of an Eastern Conference quarterfinal round in '99.
In '99? Oh, that had to be actually good value. How much was it?
$45.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nowadays, like, every $45 doesn't even get you parking.
Yeah, it's so dumb. But, like, the Sabres, what's it called? They were 7th seed. They end up beating the 2nd seed. They Boston, who was a 6th seed, and then Toronto, who was a 4th seed. Like, you never know what's going to happen.
And Broken Wheelchair says historically teams that run away with season bomb in the playoffs, they showed it early on TSN, but like the teams that have won the President's Trophy,
Chicago was the last one to win the cup, right?
Yeah, it's been forever since they've even gotten out of the 3rd round. Like, most of these teams seem to fall in the 2nd round nowadays. I mean, Florida was out in the 2nd round last year. They won the President's Trophy. Like,
yeah, and they were just happy at that point to win a goddamn series.
Yeah. Okay, can we that almost went very poorly. Okay. I got a goalie with no helmet on now, which
no helmet. It was a nice little flip.
Looks like his head is popped off. Yeah, like, winning the President's Trophy doesn't mean anything for the playoffs. And granted, the Bruins look really strong, but, The Avs looked really strong a couple years ago when they lost to Vegas. Everyone was like, "Oh, they'll dominate."
Yeah,
All these teams always look strong until you get to the playoffs, and then you're stunned that they have lost in the second round.
I'm still dealing. Man, some fans are really stupid. I'm getting really frustrated at some stupid fans. But I'm trying to think, like, back in playoffs, like, the most recent, like, granted, it's the wild card 1 and 2 thing, but still, at the end of the day, they're like the 8 versus.
Yeah, still 8 and 7
yeah,
versus
Columbus was 8th when they swept Tampa. They swept them.
Oh, Friedman says JVR to Detroit.
All right, who's Detroit moving? Well, they just moved out. Yeah. So there we go. But even that year, the year Columbus beat Tampa, Carolina beat Washington, and Carolina was a wild card team.
You never know. You just got to get in and give yourself a chance.
Dallas beat Nashville. Wow. I'm looking at the 2019 playoffs. Every wild card team won. Colorado beat.
Yeah, that was the Cale Makar debut show.
Yeah, that was but it's nuts that. Yeah, that year every wildcard team won. And Tampa had 128 points that year. Calgary had 107. So, like, granted, Tampa's going to have like 190 points. It feels. You can't even have that many in your league, but it feels like it.
Oh.
Yeah, hockey fans are stupid. So many. Not the ones we're talking with. Not any of you here. Talking about Twitter hockey.
Well, that was a hell of a goal. Yeah, JVR to Detroit.
See, look at that. We've had as many trades while we've been talking that we had before. Welcome, hockey. And no one knows. No one will understand the greatness.
You happy with that trade, Sullivan? I know that you don't seem to be a JVR fan, and I imagine whatever the return is, it's probably halfway decent. Because it seems like there was a lot of teams in on them, so you'd think they took the best deal. Watch JVR go for like a first.
Someone at the Hockey News is suggesting, what if Detroit flips JVR right away?
I mean, why not?
That'd be fantastic. I love those types of deals.
Yzerman does those.
Patrick Kane being an Arizona Coyote for like 5 minutes. Legendary. That legendary roster: Pat Kane, Pavel Datsyuk, Chris Pronger, Shea Weber. Just how good are they? That's what I want to do. I want to do a franchise hockey manager with the Coyotes, where I get all the players' contracts they've acquired in some way, shape, or form, and see how they do.
There you go, Mike Straw. Quit talking any type of shit. I just shut out the Phoenix Coyotes 4-0 on the toughest difficulty.
Yeah, well, it's Phoenix. They weren't good.
Come on, now they had Danny Briere, Tony Amonte,
yeah, this was before Danny Briere was known to be good.
Still. They're actually higher rated. They're actually higher rated than Washington in this game. So
that's awful. In 1990s, 2 teams win the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup. Dallas Stars and I guess it was the Rangers.
All right,
I knew that.
We're gonna lock in here for the final 20 minutes of the trade deadline. See if we can maybe. Bozier deal is out. This from Eck. Bozier deal is sounding close. No guarantee it gets done. The Penguins and Wild are in. Huge update from Eklund, who previously reported the Avs were an E4 for James Van Riemsdyk, and he went to the Detroit Red Wings. Why are the Red Wings buying?
Because they're right outside of a playoff spot too.
I guess. I mean, I'm all for it.
I don't call JVR a buy, to be honest. It's like when the Sabres traded for Wayne Simmons last year. That wasn't a buy. That was we traded people. Let's get a guy in here.
It's a buy in that, like, JVR's an unrestricted free agent, and a lot of teams were in on him. Like, nobody's really going after Wayne Simmons last year.
No, true.
Like, JVR had an actual market for 4 playoff teams.
Yeah, they're 5 points back with 3 games in hand. I mean,
yeah.
Dude, the East wild card race is disgustingly tight. Like the Sabres are 4 points back, 4 games in hand of the Islanders, 5 points back of Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh we know is as streaky as anybody.
Sure.
Then you got Ottawa right there. Then you got Florida, but Florida seems to be giving up. Washington, who the hell knows? They have Ovechkin, so anything can happen.
Eklund says that Detroit might be flipping JVR, so they might.
Then the hockey news was just talking about that. The hockey news, is up. There we go. Hockey news is Eklund's source is the hockey news.
Yeah. Drager says JVR headed to Detroit. Deal isn't done as Red Wings are in the process of moving another player.
Who could Detroit be trading away? I'm trying to think. Who could they be trading away? They're getting rid of the guy. Sundqvist is gone. Maybe Rasmussen. I don't know.
Yeah, they already traded
Adam
Bertuzzi.
Earn?
Trade Mo Sider.
Yeah.
Trade him to Colorado, please.
Yeah. No, Buffalo, let's go. The Bertuzzi thing, I'm just like, yeah, Boston just gets better because they showed him like getting on the ice for his first practice today, and I was like, oh yeah, they traded for him.
Yeah. Frank Saravelli says no trade in place at this exact moment for Van Riemsdyk. My God, the Van Riemsdyk sweepstakes here really heating up.
Yeah, wheelchair, it's nuts. The East is absolutely nuts, and I love it. I love it, but I hate it. I hate the fact that the Sabres lead the league in 20 goal scorers and very realistically won't make the playoffs again because their management is like, we're not going to mortgage the future. We're not telling you to mortgage the goddamn future. We're telling you to make a trade to help the future. You don't need to mortgage. It's not like you're getting rid of Thompson, Tuck, Darlene, Skinner, Cousins. Like, trade Casey Middlestat. He's trash.
But someone will like him.
Devils and Jesper Bratz can't talk extension. There's work to be done. Don't expect the deal today.
For who?
Jesper Bratt.
All
right, we got 15 minutes, everybody.
I'm getting frustrated.
Yeah, your team's making a deal. The Avs are just Lars Eller. Let's go.
Listen. Your team just won a cup, okay?
Yeah, true. Fair.
When you win a cup, you officially can't, or a championship in any sport. My personal rule is you can't complain for at least 3 to 4 years.
I actually agree with that. Trade deadline day, it gets me very on edge though, because I just love trades.
Me too.
And
that's why I like this year's NBA deadline. I was just like, this is amazing. And then the Knicks, like the one deal that almost happened was Levine to the Knicks, and I was like, please don't, because it would have brought all the good juju, good vibes that the Knicks are feeling down, and it didn't happen, and the Knicks are still winning, and I'm just happy. You know who's not winning? LeBron James.
Oh, I gotta get you with SP3, just hating on LeBron.
He can't even play.
I mean, he can. He's out weeks at this point.
Nope. And I told my wife, I'm like, hey, LeBron. Well, because I had a Lakers game on, Lakers Warriors, I think recently, and she's like, or Lakers someone, and she's like, get that off my TV. I'm like, don't worry, LeBron's out. He goes, and her response was good. She doesn't even like basketball, but she hates LeBron because every time she sees him, he's whining on the court about something. I think you might get her to say she likes Tom Brady more than LeBron. future stand-up comedian Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's a weird. Oh, so Chris Johnson now says that Van Riemsdyk is not getting traded to the Red Wings. Oh
All
boy,
right.
where's he going? Avs threw in that first round pick. They were like, "Fuck it, here we go. We got to get James Van Riemsdyk. Damn it."
All right, time for the big question though. What number will Greenway wear in Buffalo?
What number do you wear in Minnesota?
18, but it's retired here.
Oh, he's gonna wear 19. Can you wear 19?
Nope, Peyton Krebs has 19.
Oh, he can buy it off of Peyton Krebs.
Nope, ain't happening.
All right, we're down to 13 minutes, everybody.
Let's see what happened. Why is Lacey Evans trending on Twitter?
Because she said some dumb shit as usual.
Okay. I don't even want to click. I just see that what's happening. Lacey Evans is trending, and I'm just like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, she just says dumb shit.
Yeah. So another day that ends in Y. Because I have
Yeah.
Eric Howla trending, and Lacey Evans trending, Eminem trending.
Eminem? Why is
great
Eminem
list.
trending?
I don't know. This one I'm going to click on.
Okay, please do. Did you drop an album and I missed it?
Oh, because Melly Mel says Eminem's only considered a top 5 rapper because he's white.
Oh, that everyone says that like every other month.
I know, it's not new. It's just
No.
to piss off Eminem and get themselves in the... I feel like people just go after him just because they know it'll get coverage.
Yeah.
And they know they'll get their 15 minutes of fame or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so JVR... Where do the JVR suites at?
This is what we've been waiting on for the entire day is where
The whole
James
day-
Van
the whole thing
Riemsdyk
comes,
goes.
He doesn't get dealt.
That would honestly be hilarious.
This is... And I like, you go to tsn.ca, the first thing on their page, the main feature story, where will Van Riemsdyk land?
Something happened with JVR in Detroit, pulled back from deal. That's what Friedman says. Something happened with JVR in Detroit, pulled back from deal.
So they're doing basically a live blog.
Yeah.
And it says, JVR appears set for the Red Wings. Update. No, he does not. Whoever's managing the web for TSN is just on point today. They should trade JVR to Carolina.
Oh, Sami Zayn faces Solo Sikoa tonight. That's a good match.
All right, so ends in DQ. Got it.
Yeah, most likely.
I haven't watched like a weekly. Like, I'm at the point wrestling wise where I watch AEW Dynamite out of habit now. I'm falling into what I fell into with WWE for the longest time after like 20 years of watching. Like, my wife and I, we watch out of habit because it's our wrestling date night each week.
Right.
And Raw, I watch like half each week, and I don't remember the last time I ever watched a SmackDown. I don't want to watch wrestling on Fridays because after a week of work, this is the night where I can sit on my computer and play games with friends. We are 9 minutes and 40 seconds away. All I want, just give me trades before, my son gets home from school.
Yeah, I think kids are getting home very soon.
Yeah.
And
My son doesn't get home for another half hour or so, but that gives me time to, pretend to do something.
I was gonna jump off shortly after. What up, Colby? How you doing, buddy? Yes, you're a Boston fan. Good for you.
Any Boston fan should maybe be blocked, reported for spam and hate speech. Though I did have an epic breakfast sandwich for lunch today. It was amazing. I went out for lunch by myself, which when I was younger, I used to mock, and the older I get and having wife, kids, and all that, and work, and it's just like, it's so relaxing. And I was hoping, while taking an hour to go eat lunch, a bunch of trades would have happened while I'm not on my phone, and nope, nothing happened.
Wait, the biggest trade is going to be the trade that wasn't with Van Riemsdyk not going anywhere.
We're gonna look back on it. We're getting a 30 for 30. What if I told you that these three initials meant Bedlam in Philadelphia and Detroit? Come on, give me something.
Just nothing happening. Nothing.
His trade tracker, he deleted the JVR to Detroit thing.
Oh, that's cowardly.
Oh, well, he did it yesterday too, Eklund. He had Domi to the Sabres, and then as soon as Domi got traded to Stars, he deleted it. I'm like, I hate watch you too, and I hate that I hate watch you.
You gotta stand by that stuff. Like, we're all wrong every now and again. It happens.
And he's wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Why would that one be? Oh, trade Max Domi. That's the one I got to delete.
All right, we are under 10 minutes. We have 8 minutes left. And we have absolutely no movement on anything.
Today is fun, guys. God, I'm so happy I'm not doing like last year I did the like 5-hour live trade deadline show. I went from noon to 5 or noon to 4. So I did like 4 hours of it and I wanted to cry. With 30 trades, I wanted to cry.
I
couldn't imagine like doing a full studio production show with this.
Oh no, you're just talking about the stuff that already happened, which you've already talked about because you have nightly shows and morning shows and everything.
And it already happened.
Yeah. Now I knew I wanted to be on Twitch today to cover the deadline in some capacity. I was like, well, you know what? It could be nothing is happening, so I'm going to also just play video games, and that way, if nothing happens, I can at least occupy my time playing video games.
Speaking of video games, what do you think of that? I know it's ways off. We're probably not looking until like 2024 for it to launch, but Ultra Pro Wrestling.
I've not looked at the trailer yet, so I can't give an actual opinion on it.
The trailer looks good. I'm working on scheduling an interview with him. He's in New Zealand currently on vacation, so I gotta wait until he comes back home from that.
Hey, you know what? We got nothing going on. Let me watch the trailer right now. There's legitimately nothing happening on the trade world, so here we go.
I'm at the point where I'm not even refreshing Twitter. I'm refreshing Eklund's rumor tracker.
I mean, that's the way it should be anyway, so.
I want to know what happened. Don't just say something.
Oh, Byron Bader, who I don't know. Troy Stetcher to Calgary from Arizona. That's your big deal.
Is he a master? I'm a child.
Byron Bader says, only thing that makes sense in my head is Azarman was going to flip him again today before the deadline for slightly more than what he paid, and the league said, you can't do that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I would have loved that.
All right, I'm looking at the Ultra Pro.
No, what's going to happen is he's actually going to Colorado, and it's now an E5.
Oh, Eklund's going to be correct. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I'm just now browsing the NBA stats page on ESPN. That's what I'm doing today.
Is Ultra Pro Wrestling like in conjunction with like M. Dickey?
No, but it gives you it's completely independent, but it gives you that vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just more polished looking gameplay.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's got the, the N64 like gameplay style of stuff.
It's like if No Mercy and M. Dickey. Do you play Wrestling Empire at all?
I used to. I don't play much of anything unless I'm on Twitch nowadays, but yeah, I used to play Wrestling Empire.
Wrestling Empire, like, it's fantastic. And then there were like I used to play back with his older games back in like 06 and stuff, because there's that website Empire Mall where you had all the mods or whatever.
Right.
So I had a full real world mod installed that they had, the Wrestling Channel it was called. And so I would have like the Ring of Honor promotion and TNA and WWE and New Japan and Noah and all that stuff. And now playing Wrestling Empire on Steam, I'm just like, I kind of want to do all that again.
Yeah. Ultra Pro Wrestling looks nice, gotta say.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Anytime I can get wrestling games, like there's Markout Pro Wrestling, which is a card, digital wrestling card game that's on Steam. That's fun. A lot of work being done to it now. There's so many good games in development.
All right, we got like 3 minutes to go, and nothing happening.
There will be trades that come in after the deadline. You gotta remember that, because fax machines. They always make sure to tell you that as soon as 3 o'clock hits.
Yes.
Dude, this is the 6th time in the last hour that ESPN has talked about Jesse Puljujarvi to the Hurricanes.
They got nothing to talk about, man.
And then goes to spare.
Puljujarvi is where it's at. I was kind of sad that that Colorado didn't get Puljujarvi. He would have fit perfectly. And
I wanted Gostisbehere because one of my best friends couldn't pronounce his name when Gostisbehere was with Philly and he was really showing promise. He drafted him for his fantasy hockey league one year, and he was like, "I'm drafted." I was like, "Who are you drafting?" He's like, "Ghosties be here." And I was like,
Ghosties
the greatest name ever. Ghosties be here.
Oh, Ghost could be there. You never know.
It is the greatest thing ever.
All right, 2-minute warning.
Can we pause and take a time out to give them a bit more time?
Yeah, we need it. We need it. What's happening here?
Can we talk about also ESPN yesterday saying that the only thing they know about hockey is that the puck is black?
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith sucks.
Well, even then, whoever the host is saying, well, hockey, when Kay said the Rangers, it's like, oh, that doesn't count. Like, what are you talking about that doesn't count? You're an idiot. This is ESPN's response. You want to make fun of us? Fuck your trade deadline coverage.
Curtis Pashelka says James Reimer, Nico Sturm, and Capo Kakkonen have all left the ice. Practice is supposed to start in 4 minutes. Patrick Brown from Philly to Ottawa. That's a big move that the Flyers fans were looking for.
Give me to Buffalo, James Reimer. He is better than what they have.
We're going to get like all of these trades at like 3:30. They're just going to come swarming in. It's 3 o'clock. It's officially 3 o'clock.
Ding, 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 ding. Where's the bell? Don't you have that ready to go?
I don't have a bell, no.
What?
Sorry.
Disappointing.
Sorry.
The Lambs would have a bell.
Yeah, the Lambs is so much better than me. Kidding me? So much better.
I think that's been the highlight of my day. Is
learning that the Lambs is based on Eklund.
Yeah, having it all put together. That I should have put the pieces together. Some journalist I am. Oh, failure. I announced my retirement. Wow, ESPN has a horn. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. They can wait. If it's not my wife, I don't answer. All right, what's going to be the first trade to come in after 3 o'clock?
We're gonna hang around for a little while longer to see if anything comes through, because you would hope something comes through.
So far, your day is ruined. It can't be ruined. You know why it can't be ruined? Because you're here.
Pierre LeBrun says Carolina's done for the day. No trades. Yeah, they did all their business. They didn't really need to.
Carolina doesn't need anything. I'm just waiting to see Sabres are done for the day, and then all the replies to it.
Rasmus Asplund from Buffalo to Nashville.
Oh, thank God he's gone. I mean, not thank God, but you weren't playing him.
The Sens send a 6th-round pick to Philadelphia for Patrick Brown.
Oh my God. I just got an offer for $50,000 slot tournament for ages 45 and above. How old do these spam things think I am?
You think
All right,
in the
let's see
queue
what they got for Asplund.
told Van Riemsdyk, this is Frank Saravelli, told James Van Riemsdyk was not traded prior to the deadline. So it looks like he is going to remain
They
in
couldn't even
Philadelphia.
trade him. Oh my God. That's so bad. Like that. To be fair, though, couldn't have happened to a better franchise. So my thing is, Chuck Fletcher, John Tortorella's a shit coach, absolute shit coach. Chuck Fletcher is an absolute shit GM. So I am the mindset of you deserve what you have when you do that type of stuff and you hire those types of people. I still, even though Seattle is in a playoff spot, I still believe that Ron Francis and Dave Haxtell are the Fletcher and Tortorella might surpass them as the worst in the league, but Haxtell and Francis are close as the worst GM coach combo.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry that Philadelphia could not trade the easiest person on the team. Maybe not the easiest because of his contract and everything, but a layup as far as just a guy who was clearly wanted by multiple teams, and you just didn't do anything with it.
Nashville extended Dante Fabro.
Wow, good for them.
Can UC Saros come to Buffalo for Erasmus Asplund?
I don't know if you're quite going to get that deal in return.
Shit. I'll try. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try some trades that should have happened in NHL 23 later. And I'm going to start posting them on Twitter. So that's going to be fun. We'll see. Sully, we are going to see if I could trade JVR.
You could easily, if you, the Kings have traded Austin Wagner to the Blackhawks for future considerations.
The Fabro dealer's a 1-year extension.
No.
So that ain't, darn. He was someone I was kind of hoping might have come back to the Sabres. So
you could easily get something for JVR. Just try you'll get a draft pick or two for if you just do the offer them up around the league.
Don't worry, Ryan. You can always take solace in the fact that the Philadelphia Flyers still have Rasmus Ristolainen for 4 more years at over $5 million a year. As someone who got to watch him for like 8 years here, it's just, man, couldn't have happened to a better organization.
The Habs are done. Joel Edmondson was not moved.
I'm surprised that Edmondson wasn't moved or Monahan wasn't moved.
Montreal didn't do as much as they feels like they probably could have.
Buddy of mine, Jordan Greenway, Stanley Cup, here we come.
That's the biggest deal of the day. Like, not even joking. Like, Jordan Greenway might legitimately be the biggest deal of the day.
I hate that that's a thing, but you're probably.
I mean,
let's see. What other deal? No, I think Nemstanikov or Nemstanikov.
Nah, he gets traded every year though.
True. Not Bonino. Brendan Lemieux.
Dmitry Kulikov, he got traded today, right?
Yeah, Kulikov might. I mean, he was number 5 on the board.
It still feels like Jordan Greenway might be the biggest deal of the day. And the deals that got done were to Buffalo, like just French playoff teams. Kulikov to Pittsburgh and Greenway to Buffalo. Like these are teams.
What bothers me is all the teams around the Sabres fighting for a playoff spot made bigger deals before the deadline. Like Chychrun to Ottawa. What's his face to Horvat to the Islanders. Like you have these teams that are literally fighting with you for spots. And you're just sitting there like twiddling your damn thumbs, looking down at yourself going, am I a grower or a shower?
Charlie O'Connor, who is the lead athletic writer for the Philadelphia Flyers, hearing that JVR Artsman was not traded, what an absolute failure on the part of Chuck Fletcher and the Flyers.
Nashville sent a whopping 7th round pick in 2025 to Sabres for Aspen. I guarantee you, I'd try and make that trade offer to send Asplund to the Predators, or to trade a 7th round to the Sabres for Asplund. The Sabres go, no. I am going to absolutely love recreating some of these deals.
Oh, I'm with you, Ryan. Like, get something. He's gone after this year. Yeah. Like,
yeah, and if you're not a playoff team, not trading RFAs for whatever you can, or UFAs for whatever you can, is a really dumb idea. Unless you think somehow that player's going to get more in the offseason for his rights, which obviously JVR is not.
No.
Like, my biggest thing is, like, we look at Timo. I think I go to, like, Timo Meyer being traded. He was an RFA. Like, I don't think I'm not in the mindset of you trade a top-tier RFA. Oh, look, they're talking about the last postseason series win droughts. You got Detroit at 2013, the Devils at 2012, the Sabres at 2007, and there you go. The Maple Leafs. One of those teams hasn't made the playoffs since then. Ditch those 90-second ads and support our channel with the ad-free experience.
Bozier and JT Miller remain.
I thought Besser was gonna go to the Wild or the Penguin.
That's right. That was an E something, right?
That was an E. Fuck off. That's what it was. That's what he should do. An EFU rating, which is just F. Yeah.
Hey, enjoy, Ryan. Everybody go over. We're going to wrap up here in a second. Go watch Coexisting on Fightful Overbooked right now. It might actually be on this channel right now. Or maybe it'll start streaming once we log off of here, because I don't know how much we're going to trickle in with some deals here. It seems like kind of everything is sort of done. I mean, unless something... I'll never forget when... this is the Avs of saying, we're waiting to hear from Avs. Chris McFarland, no word yet from PR, meaning they're likely still involved with something. We'll see. Usually teams let everybody know when stuff is done and everything. I remember the deal. It was, I think Joe Nieuwendyk for Jason Arnott happened at like 4 o'clock. The deadline was at 3.
That's a player I used to love. Joe Nieuwendyk?
Yeah.
Loved him.
That was a deal that, like,
same with Jamie Langenbrunner.
That's always been my bar of, like, oh, these deals come in very late. That deal came in, I think it was even later than 4. That deal came in super late when it finally got announced.
Nothing was better than 2013. There was rumors flying throughout the KeyBank Center, back then the First Niagara Center, that Ryan Miller was dealt. And then rumors were flying that it was going to be Ryan Miller in a package for Alex Ovechkin. And everybody, like, so many of us were looking at each other like, who started this shit? Why are people talking about it here? It was the dumbest thing ever, but it got so much traction for some reason. That radio station was talking about, like, everyone. I'm just like, and looking back on it, I will never forget. It's the greatest day ever.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm trying to stick around and see if the Avs just do anything. Oh, John Klingberg traded to Minnesota.
Wow.
There you go.
I'm kind of jealous.
John Klingberg to Minnesota.
Must be nice to get a defenseman when you need one for your team. And I'm not saying Klingberg's great, but he's still... I'm done.
I mean, Klingberg took that terrible deal for Anaheim to basically know he was going to get traded and then try to make more money in this season, and he sucked in Anaheim.
It failed. Yeah, because he's not the guy. He's like your 3rd or 4th at best, but that's still on a playoff team. Good.
Should be fine in Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota doesn't fully scare me, but all these teams
shouldn't. The only thing about Minnesota that scares me is Kirill the Thrill.
Yeah, Kaprizov's great.
He is one of my favorite players to watch.
Like none of the teams like fully scare me when it comes to the West, but it does suck just seeing teams improve, and it's like we're getting.
I hate that this team got better.
Yeah,
I get it.
We're getting Lars Eller coming in. Okay, Flames are getting Troy Stetcher, Nick Ritchie for Connor Mackey and Brett Ritchie.
Look at all these deals coming in.
All right, we're getting some stuff trickling in here. Let's go.
See, but the question is, now according to Eklund, JVR was not moved.
Well,
That's what he on his trade. I love when he does that. JVR not moved. Source
thanks.
me. Like
Thanks.
source Eklund. No.
Yes, that always pops me when
Or
he says he's the
Greenberg to Wild.
source.
Source Eklund.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
That always pops me when he says he's the source for this stuff. It took him a while to answer his phone. That's all it was. It just took him a while to answer his phone.
But don't worry, New Jersey was in on JVR, as is Buffalo, maybe Seattle.
E4, Carolina, or Colorado. That's a shame that the Ritchie brothers just got traded for each other. Like, hey, oh no.
That makes it actually really funny. That's the deadline deal of the day. Be real. I mean, at least at the end of the day, the Flyers did get a 6th-round pick today.
They got a 6th.
They got Brendan Lemieux too, who no one wants in their organization. I got nothing.
I'm just waiting for something. Okay, I believe a minor leagueish trade coming for the Avs. Well, great. Glad we're making an AHL move. This is from Peter Baugh.
You gotta get the Colorado Eagles. Calder Cup intent.
Sure.
The Sabres have made more trades for Rochester this year than they have their own team. Like at the end of the day, though, I do go to Rochester for playoff games, so I can get some sort of playoff hockey, and it's only an hour drive, so it makes it really nice. And currently, they're not in a playoff spot, so they got some work to do.
It's still amazing that James Van Riemsdyk didn't get traded.
I think Sully. He did. I'm gonna go watch wrestling content to cheer up. He just is like, I'm done.
I don't blame him. All right, we're gonna wrap up here. I don't think there's gonna be any type of monumental trade that comes in. And if there's a monumental trade that comes in, you guys can watch Coexisting on Fightful Overbooked, and I will jump in the middle of their wrestling podcast to talk about hockey if the Colorado Avalanche actually do something worthwhile. Hey, everybody. Mike Straw, let everybody know where they can find you at.
MikeStrawMedia.com and Insider Gaming. That is where you'll find us. All the scoops there. Not Lamb's quality scoops or Eklund quality scoops, but, real ones.
No one gets the Eklund quality scoops. Are you kidding me? Nobody.
That's what's made it fun. Just talking Eklund.
Mike, I appreciate you joining me, coming on here, talk some hockey. Of course, buddy. Of course. Once I saw you in the chat, I was like, "Come on, get on here. Let's get this going."
Oh God, we'll wrap it up. Tony Khan has major announcements coming soon.
Always major announcements from Tony Khan. You know who doesn't have any major announcements? That's the NHL, because this trade deadline was not very fun, everybody. But thanks for hanging out for the past 2 hours as we played some NHL hits, and we tried to make it as entertaining as possible with zero trades. There were more than zero, but there were not that many trades going on today. Sorry, guys. What can we do? I would have made all the trades in the world. I would have made them all. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Head over to Fightful Overbooked. Watch Coexisting with Rob and Maggie, and we will talk to y'all later on.